you guys, it's Sam here. Just wanted to let you know we got a couple of links down in the description. The first one is a NerdSync video that I think most of you should enjoy, probably. You'll like it. It'll be fun. The second one's going to be a secret link. I'm not going to tell you what that is, but links in the description, so go check them out after this podcast.
Alright, welcome back to G.T.O podcast. Today you have me, myself, Marc Anthony Davis. You got
Sam.
And you got my father, one half of my body.
John E. Davis Jr.
Alright, it's been a long time since we had you on, a whole month. Trump got elected. The Saints are 4-6. The Sam's Vikings are 5-4. Teacher said the N-word in class. A lot of stuff has been happening, but I don't know where to start. So you thought it was interesting, right? So what did you hear from not being inside the school?
All I heard was a student on Facebook, like a junior or something, was like, teacher said the N-word in class today. I'm about to fight someone. And so I was like, what context did they think it was okay to say that and not just say like the N-word?
No, Sam. He said it with an A though. It's okay. Just with an A. Yeah, he said it with an A.
That's not from him. That's not any better. I don't know.
I mean, I wasn't in that class. I have him as a teacher, but he said it for like one class, and like he has like 8 classes, I think. So he didn't say it in the other ones.
Right. That's probably.
But no one ever gave me the context really. Like he was just talking about some policy and this. We're trying to give put you there in the 60s, I guess, and it's like, so he said the N-word. I'm like, that's unnecessary. What are you doing, sir? And as time goes on, it becomes like less and less like defensible, like his actions are, because everyone always thinks he's racist, even though he's not. Everyone thinks he's a Republican. For one, that's not a problem. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
And and then the second thing, they just think he's racist and sexist. When you're really like. I don't know if we really described this before, but Benjamin Franklin really, they say it's liberal. Like when you think of liberal, you think of like being open and accepting. That's the exact opposite. They just have a set of views.
It's left leaning, not necessarily liberal.
Is that a difference? That's the difference.
Kind of. It depends on how you want to word it. All
right. So like, for example, like if you like pro-life or whatever, pro-choice. If you come up as pro-life, like what, like this, they demean you, and like you won't be able to get like what's your reason or whatever, or you have you even are Republican, like you're racist, you're homophobic, like you're just generalizing about these people. Like yeah, they're racist, homophobic Republicans, but I mean that has nothing to do about them being actually Republican. And it's just sad for me to see that we're supposed to be the smartest people in the city or in the state. And we're supposed to be the smartest people of the future, but we can't hold a conversation with somebody who has an opposing viewpoint.
Of course not. That would be logical, Mark.
And then we calling Republicans and just people that don't hold the same, are right-leaning, bigots. But the definition of bigotry is intolerance against other people's opinions. It's not being racist. Mm-hmm. It's not any of that stuff. You're the one that's being bigots because you don't understand the other side and you want to just shot it down. Like, do I support racism? No. I mean, of course not. But I'm not going to sit here and be intolerant of all racist people because they're people too. And at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is arbitrary. A lot of this stuff is it's surface level stuff that at this point, you could be racist, but you can only be so racist because we have laws against that, I think.
You can only act so racist, at least.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes down to that whole topic with the teachers saying the N-word or whatever, coming from a 41-year-old black male, honestly, I don't really care who says the N-word. It makes me no difference. It's a word. You know what I'm saying? The way that we think of each other on a regular daily basis really is more of a problem to me than somebody using the N-word. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't. I don't hold anything towards that. I got angry one time because I was a a sophomore in high school, and I was playing in JV football game, and I remember we were playing Brother Martin, and I guess I was giving him too much of a problem, and he said it, you know, he was like, "You blank blank N-word," you know, and you know, if you thought I was giving you problems before, wait and see what's about to happen now. That was the last time that I even acted out on that. You know what I'm saying? Because every time that a person, well, I'm going to speak for myself. Every time that I get upset and want to retaliate because someone called me that or anything like that, then you know what? I've just given that word, that whole expression, exponential power. You know what I mean? I don't really get into that. There's so many things in life to be concerned with than worry about a word. Now, don't get me wrong. The tongue is one of the greatest weapons alive. But at the same time, all that can be diffused, even though, let's just say, this person calls me the N-word. Well, it only has any power towards me if I give it power. You know what I mean? And so it's more of a self-awareness thing, in my opinion. It's more of self-awareness when it comes down to reacting to that word, because the best reaction is no reaction. That's my opinion. And then looking at everything, let's say from the time I entered high school until this point right now, I have had several life-changing events. You know what I mean? And some of them, matter of fact, a good portion of them, I'm not necessarily happy about. You know what I mean? But they are what they are. I can't live in the past. But what I can do is remember to make my future what I would prefer it to be. You know? So, whoever that teacher was that said that, don't get me wrong, I'm not giving you a pass to go around saying that, because most people, most black people, and I only can speak for black because that's the only thing I've been as far as I know. Most black people are not going to have the stance that I have on it. Most people are not going to look at it like that when it comes down to the expression of that word. But at the same time, what really gets to me is that the black community as a whole wants to get defensive and ready to protest and burn the city down. They're ready to do all that when that type of stuff happens. But just like when they had that debate and David Duke was at Dillard, and like all these students were out there and all these other people, regular citizens out there, and they protesting them, and I'm like, what are you doing on a regular day, on a regular basis? What are you doing to be proactive in these same stances that you're taking?
Well, I'll tell you what they're doing. At school, we had a Black Lives Matter club, Black Culture Club, and this past Friday, to I guess get their name out there, they hold a little thing in the courtyard. Yeah, they had a mannequin challenge. Okay, you know what that is, right?
Yeah, I know what it is.
So people that listen, you don't know what the mannequin challenge is. You basically stand in a pose like it's supposed to be funny or whatever, while Black Beatles is playing in the background. So I think that's hilarious because I think it represents the whole like Black Lives Matter movement to me, like better than anyone could like ever say.
Did it really move you though?
What?
Did you watch the video?
What video?
The mannequin challenge.
I was there.
Oh. Right.
I was in the video. I go to the school, son.
I watched it, and it's not that I didn't feel anything, but it just felt like one of those things that high schoolers did because they thought it would help, but I didn't really understand where they were helping.
No, this is my point though. They're standing there, not saying anything, being stoic. You that might as well be the Black Lives Matter movement to me. Because you're not actually saying anything. Like, we all know Black Lives Matter, but you're not. What does that actually mean? Black Lives mattered 50 years ago when we didn't have had civil rights. They mattered 150 years ago when we were slaves. They mattered 500 years ago when we were having fun in Africa. Like, they always mattered. So, I mean, you're not really saying anything. Like, and what are we actually doing? Are we just going on Twitter, like liking some dumb tweet? Or are we actually like like the only thing that's going to change anything for black people or any person in general is the acquisition of power. Because at the end of the day, I always go back to this. I really, when I learn about U.S. history, and world history, the French Revolution, they revolted against the king and queen that killed them, and the people that were rebels, they took the power and they just made themselves the highest people. I forgot exactly how it went. I don't know if they made like another king and queen. You could tell me if they did.
They just made like a council sort of thing.
So like the people that rebelled basically put themselves in power. So we don't want to be equal. And so we don't want to be equal. We just want to have the power. And if you want to have the power, like people with power, it's not going to give it to you. Like black people, we got as much as we gonna get from just crying about it at this point. And even with that, we haven't been like Martin Luther King wasn't like he was actually doing stuff. Like he didn't have Twitter just to like. I feel like we're pandering to the same people. We're not actually doing anything. Like we have to get like more black politicians. Like it's not good enough to have one black president. You know, it's not good enough to have like just a couple black businessmen. We need to be. Just need to have more power, and not talking about it is not going to do anything to me.
And that's why on that podcast that we had before, I said this is exactly why I wanted Donald Trump to win. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I do not support this young man's views.
Young man.
You know, I do not support all of his views, but at the same time, I would use that as like a stepping stone as far as, and not just blacks, but minorities or the disenfranchised groups of people. Use that as a stepping stone to look, this is my wake up call right here. Yeah, we can have this guy for 4 years, but after that, we got to stop this and put someone in there that, you know what, if nothing else, and it doesn't matter black, white, or whatever, it doesn't matter, but you know what though, he's going to be fair. He's not going to be an extremist. The same thing that they talk about, oh, these radical Muslims, well, what, he's no different. How you gonna talk about, you're gonna talk about how they are these radical Muslims and they're bombing and they're doing all this killing and this and that, but at the same time, you may be going about it in a different way, but you're doing it. You want to put a wall up? You want to put a wall up? I'm not saying yay or nay to that, but I'm like, how are you any different? You know what I mean? You know, you're saying for Syria, all right? Well, you know, we go over there and we just bomb them. Okay, how is that not extreme? You know what I mean? How is that not extreme? And see, I think people were polarized by his whole campaign because it was a lot of smoke and mirrors going on, a lot of things to get you riled up and this and that. But if, as we all know, but not very many are going to admit it, if you think about it, when it got down to the brass tacks, he never could really address anything in depth. You know what I'm saying? And I've been saying this since I was in high school. People are sheep, but more than that, I'm gonna go a step further. People are comfortable being sheep. They want somebody to lead them. And I'm sorry, he is not the one to lead anything. Not for me. I mean, this guy has filed bankruptcy 6 or 7 times, and he's supposed to be this great businessman. That's not great in my eyes. I haven't heard that Bill Gates has done that. You know, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard the guy from Omaha, Nebraska, Buffett, the million. He hasn't done that. If he has, it just wasn't publicized. So it's just like, come on. I mean, there were too many things as far as no, he shouldn't be the one. I just believe that, one, Hillary lied so blatantly about certain things and never owned up to it. In the end, Americans are going to accept whoever you are. You know what I'm saying? But she came back, no, I didn't do that. You did do it. You know what I'm saying? You did this. You know, she continued to lie about it. And then the other thing, I don't believe that America was ready for a woman to be the lead. I don't think not just yet. You know, and then you put in the mix, you got a polarizing candidate like Donald Trump. So, maybe if she does it in 4 years, then yeah, but they just weren't ready.
What he's talking about, people are sheep. That once again shown true with them rural white Americans. Like, what? And from that basic sense, why would a rich person want to support poor people? So, like, that just doesn't make sense. So I'm a poor person voting for a rich person. And my mom brought up a point, is that, like, just like you said, people are sheep, and poor people gonna live through rich people vicariously. Not just through politics. It also happens with TV. They watch reality shows. You watch the Kardashians or the Housewives of Minnesota or whatever. You're like, you living through these people's lives, like, you could never do this. Well, I mean, you could, but you have no drive and you have no dreams, so you're not gonna do it.
Right.
So you gotta live vicariously through these people, and like Donald Trump's rich, you gotta aspire to be Donald Trump, basically the same white person you are, just with a bunch of money. Now, no one these people are not voting for Hillary because for whatever reason. You have a multitude of reasons not to vote for her, I guess. So yeah, you're right with the sheep thing. It's just disappointing that. It's just disappointing. I'll just leave it at that. We'll move on.
Well, one last add on. Yes, it is very disappointing that it's like that. But what's the sad part about it? That even though we've progressed as a society, I'm just speaking of America. Yeah, as a society we've progressed, but in actuality, it's exactly the same as it was. Let's go back to maybe the late 1800s when the Industrial Revolution was kicking off with Rockefeller and Carnegie and all them. It's still the same thing. The rich, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, Ford. Now, Ford was a fair man as far as the way that he went about his business. He was a fair man. If he wasn't, none of us would have a vehicle right now. But at the same time, a handful of men controlled everything. They are getting presidents elected. They aren't getting, they don't want to see this one in there. They're going to make sure that he isn't in there. And it's like, in the end, a very small percentage of the population controls everything, and the thing about it, Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller, had very, very meager upbringings. He was not a born rich man, but over time he began becoming kind of polarizing. And what was so funny to me, and I want y'all to go and check out this little documentary. It's the men who made America. And y'all saw that
last year in U.S. history.
Okay. And the funny thing about it, towards the end of their lives, they have billions of dollars, and this is back in the 1900s, so they how much it's worth today. And it's like they have all this money, and Carnegie and Rockefeller got into a competition of who could donate more money to lesser organizations. You know what I mean? Carnegie's thing was he built a bunch of libraries, and I'm just like, you know what? I do, even to this day, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power. But at the same time, wouldn't it benefit people more, maybe if you take half of the money that you spent on building these libraries, you take half of that, do that, and then you take the other half and basically adopt a family. Now, yeah, they have to have criteria. You're not gonna just get it. You know what I'm saying? Just because, okay, I'm poor. No, you have to be working towards a goal. You have to be working towards being a legitimate.
That takes effort, though. So, it's very easy. Hey, I'm gonna get this contractor. I'm gonna give him a bunch of money. You have this budget, and you go make all these libraries. It's very hard to I'm gonna get this family. I'm gonna curate a family to get and support their lives. But
no, it's not even really necessarily support their lives. But if it's you have a family that's they're doing everything. The parents are working, the kids are going to school, they're doing what they're supposed to do, but they just missing it. They just can't take advantage of some of the things that would make their lives better, make their kids' lives better. I'm saying, you get a family like that, and yeah, it's gonna take a little work. But if you're going to be a giver of money, then you make your money count. Don't just put up libraries and stuff. So you would get groups of people, and then if you have this kind of money, then obviously you have a staff of people, and then you have them kind of investigate a little bit. And hey, we're gonna donate, let's say $25,000 to whatever part of your life to make your life as a family, to make it better, whether it be education, whether it be getting a vehicle or whatever it may be. But you help them out to be able to do that for the things that they're missing out on and would be missing out on in life. You help them and push them over the top, and then let's see them go from there. So I mean, I don't know. That's just something that I would do. But you are correct. It would be very difficult to do that. But if you have money, you have power. So,
well, Sam, anything happened in your week that's interesting?
Nah, I've just been getting over a cold last couple days.
Oh, thank you for spreading it to all of us. Thank you.
I mean, I'm over it, but like Monday through Thursday, I was done for quite a while.
I had a fever and I didn't take any medicine, just went away. So I feel thankful for that. That's why I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving. A strong immune system. Just living off chicken. Anyway.
Living off chicken.
Something that I'm noticing, and it's really getting on my nerves. It's really... I keep going to I drink a lot of water because I need to stay hydrated. I'm a big male. And so I pee like a racehorse multiple times a day at school. And I keep seeing these people, the same suspects, by the way. They go in the stall, they go pee, something, doing a little more, walk out, right past the soap, right past the sink, and I'm like, who? This is not your house. This is a living, breathing community, and here you are just smearing your bacteria all over the school. And I'm like, and it was a teacher yesterday. I caught a teacher doing it. He showered remained nameless, but he walked straight out. I'm like, you gotta have your penis germs on everyone. Like, what's wrong with you? About to go touch these little freshmen? And I'm like, come on. I noticed, like, they always say, like, your hands are extremely dirty, like, already. So, like, come on, at least help out a little bit and wash your hands. Like, but the people that go, and there's none, like, these people at this school really dirty. Yeah, like, it's their house. Like, they don't even act like that. Act like it's an outhouse.
Oh.
Don't. I walk in there and I just see. I go in the toilet, I see excrement, but okay, you didn't flush because you're scum. I get that part, but there's no toilet paper, so you didn't wipe.
Oh man!
And you walk in there. Oh my god! I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going.
You know what? I'm sorry. They don't have any toilet paper, so they just didn't wipe. That means throughout the remainder of your day, you're fiddling with your derriere area because you know it's itchy. It's itching. Oh man, that is nasty, man.
We're supposed to be forming into adults, and you still acting like a little kid. Like you need to be walking around in a diaper or something. Anyway, that's my gripe.
That is filthy.
Yeah. So, but this has been a pretty stressful week. I've been people saying the N-word, people not washing their hands and trying to touch on me. But the main thing was that I had like 2 essays, 2 tests in the project due. But they all went well. I think I got A's on all of them besides the math test. And I got my proc support this week, and I got a 3.8. So I know at this point it makes no difference. I'm going to LSU probably anyway. Because I found out the other day that Loyola doesn't take TOPS. Because it's a private school.
Gotcha.
So that sucks.
Matter of fact, speaking of TOPS, is the program going to be funded for next year?
Spring semester for LSU, I think, but not fall of next year. It's going to continue for spring of this year. But it might not continue over to next year.
I mean, how could it not continue?
They don't want to spend money on poor people, I guess, or middle class people.
And what what's the alternative to this money that they're using? Not using on the streets, not using on disabled people.
Right.
Lining their pockets, I guess.
But that's what I always, people always say that, but don't politicians get paid the same no matter what? I mean, people know.
In some states, they can vote to change their salary.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever they feel like doing.
Obvious conflict of interest there. That's not okay.
Yeah, very. It is a big time conflict of interest. That and you know what? That just underscores here in Louisiana that even though it's a Republican state and money should be spent, because Republicans don't have a problem necessarily spending money, but they have a problem spending money on things that matter to the common people, and why would you cut education? Why would you do that? It makes me just think about, it makes me think that, wow, how ignorant do you want your people, your citizens, but at the same time, I think we all know who's gonna really hurt behind not having that TOPS program. I think we all know. There's no need to even say that.
There's no point in their eyes, just from looking at it purely objectively, not bringing race into it. But Louisiana makes most of their money off tourism, which doesn't take a high level education. So why invest in it? Most people that you're educating are probably going to leave the state anyway.
Yeah, and if they stay stupid, they'll keep voting you in.
Yeah.
If they don't open their mind to new ideas.
Because you don't need the fish industry. You could just take vocational school, if that. You could just you don't have to go to school to be a good fisherman.
Nope.
Or to bust a table or guide people through the city or whatever. So if anything, we're doing it to ourselves. But that's just the environment we live in,
right?
More than anything else.
But at the same time, you know what? You have to be able to impact your environment, and I don't mean impacted by doing arbitrary things. But if you're gonna have a rally, if you're gonna march on something, then you know what? Make it something worthwhile. It's just hard. It's almost comical, even though it's not. It's really sad. But it's in a lot of communities. All right, I lived in, for extended periods of time, I lived in St. Louis. I lived obviously here. I lived in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which is much different from St. Louis. So that's the only reason why, even though it's 2 hours apart, it's much different being there. And then I lived in St. Charles, Missouri, which is across the river from St. Louis. And I'm gonna tell you, out of those three places, I'll take St. Charles any day of the week. Because I already look at it like this. That's the way I go about it. There's going to be racism wherever you go. No difference. All right, that doesn't matter. So I can't even put that on my list of anything. They're going to have, but what opportunities does this place offer? You know what I mean? Because first of all, I'm not going to let the racism thing, dictate to me what I can and cannot do. First of all, I'm an intelligent man, not an intelligent black man. I'm an intelligent man, so I'm not worrying about that. You know what I'm saying? I know when to turn on and off and on and off the I'm hanging out with the homeboys side. I'm not carrying that everywhere. Like I say, it's a time and place for everything. But at the same time, there is certain core values that never change throughout whatever I have. It's just kind of like adapting to your environment. You know what I mean? And it's not being a sellout, because like I said, there are core values that will never ever change about who I am. But that's what makes, and I'm not saying that I am. I'm not when I say this, but that's what makes a good, matter of fact, that's what makes a great leader, being able to get on anyone's level, but not stay there and bring them up to a better level. That's to me, that's what the president, that's what Hillary or Trump should have been trying to convey. And I hate to go back to that. I know we moved on from that, but it's just that's what my life is. You know what I'm saying? That's what my life is. It's like, what How can you help your fellow man out? How can you go about it? First, I have to understand what gifts I bring to the table, and then quit trying to do stuff that you know what you're not efficient at. Quit trying to do that. That really isn't going to do anything for anybody except waste time and piss people off. So I know what I'm good at. So why won't I be that? Why won't I be the best that I can be? It's too many people they trying to be the best at things that they really aren't good at. Right now, I cannot be a part of any mannequin action. I can't do that. I can't do that. I mean, I'm going at some point. Matter of fact, within 5 seconds in, I'm gonna start moving. You know what I mean? So hey, you know what? I'll hold the camera for y'all. That's what I'll do. You know. So I mean, I don't know. That's just something that I don't know. I know I jumped from tangent to tangent.
Oh yes, that's fine. What you said the word efficient and bringing people up, and you sound like a little friend, one of your role models, Adolf. Does that ring a bell?
One of my role models. Thank you.
We'll move on. I don't want you to defend yourself.
No.
Oh, we watched a movie this past week. It was called Napoleon Dynamite.
Yay!
It was a nice little movie. It came out in 2004, like an hour and a half long. Sam, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know, going back to it after a couple years of not seeing it, it's not a great movie, but it's something that I'd be fine watching if I have like 90 minutes to spare. It was pretty funny, but not, bust a gut, rolling in the aisles kind of funny.
That saying, bust a gut, that had to happen to at least one person for it. Whatever, okay. Anyway, I read the summary of this movie going into it, and it implies that this movie was based around the election, even though it honestly wasn't.
At all.
Yeah. But, I mean, it just seemed like to sell this movie, we have to sell the plot, because that's what movies are based on. And then, like, this movie, it didn't have a plot, it was mostly, like, character-driven.
The kid around, yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked that. And, this movie was very quirky. It seemed like everyone was high. I don't know, I didn't grow up in high school in 2003 or 4. So I don't know how things were.
Don't look at me. I didn't grow up in high school. I mean, you know what? When I grew up in high school, it was the late 80s, early 90s, and I'm gonna tell you. Then it goes back to like within your circle of friends. You know what I mean? Within my circle of friends, it was really and truly, it was all about your extracurricular activity. In my little clique, they were football players, majority, a baseball player, the drum major of the band. For all purposes, we were like the jocks, the cool jocks. But
wait a second. You sound like a character from this movie. You're reliving them glory days. Can't have you doing that, because this is one of my fears. It's one of my fears for me.
What's that?
Regretting something I did in high school. Because this is the character, and I don't know the last time you watched it. Yeah. He's always talking about, man, if coach started me in that fourth quarter, we would have went to the States and we would have won it. And he's always going back to that, having videos of himself, like filming himself, trying to audition to the NFL or whatever. I don't know what he's trying to do. The dude's throwing an underhand for one. Whatever. What
it's. I'm not trying to like live the glory days. That was just that's the people that I hung with. It was honestly, it was nothing that should have happened differently. I am totally fine with everything that took place, because you know what? Everything that took place made me exactly who I am till this day. Good or bad, take it or leave it. It is what it is. I know I can't go back and change time, so it's cool. No, I am not one of those people that has videos playing. Look at me, that's me right there. Yeah, I should have made that tackle. And no, it is what it is, man. I'm just saying, within our group, those were the concerns that we had. It was more or less, it was whatever sport you played, your social scene, which is the females and whatnot. And
what are those?
Huh?
Nothing.
What you saying?
What are those?
And like school, but school wasn't necessarily an issue for any of us, and not because we were getting passed. It wasn't like that. We had to work. Like, you know, I went to St. Augustine. We had to work for grades. Now, if you borderline, you played something, all right, go ahead, give it to them. But I mean, it was like, really and truthfully, you earned. You know what I'm saying? You work for your grades. That's why I think in the end, that's why I don't have a problem like working hard. That's why, you know, my current physical situation never bothered me. You know, it never really, because I'm used to you gotta work for what you want. So when it comes down to it, I can't sit here and say how, like, during that 5-year span, and I'm gonna tell you, from 8th grade to 12th grade, it was no failing involved. I just want to make that clear. But I don't know what else was really going on, because I was so wrapped up into my own world within my clique. So I really don't know. It wasn't.
That's
it wasn't
a good thing.
Yeah, it was just.
I mean, it means that you have friends. Some of us are a little bit a little lacking in that department.
That's you, Mark. That's all you.
Okay. Anyways, this, like I said, the movie is very quirky and focused on the characters. I like the characters; they're all funny. It's very awkward though, and I was waiting for like the one guy, like the character that's supposed to be like the straight guy and acknowledging all this. Like, no, it just left all the characters alone, let them be quirky on themselves. This movie reminds me of the video game Earthbound. I don't know if y'all ever played that, but it's like quirky in its own right with the music, which is like the music and the dialogue and whatever. So to bring it back to games, apparently this is a gaming podcast. No one ever told me that. So yeah, if you want to play this, play Earthbound, watch this movie, and then probably do. I'm not saying do drugs. I'm not saying smoke marijuana, but I don't know if that hurt or help. I don't know.
You looking at me on the corner of your eye, man. I don't know. I don't smoke marijuana.
I know. I'm just saying.
I don't know that.
I'm looking at somebody. I need to look at somebody. I'm sorry. I need eye contact.
I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, I mean, in years past,
Don't get yourself in trouble.
I'm not. You know what? Once you get to a certain age, you don't get in trouble anymore. There are situations that you need to deal with. So I'm gonna say, yeah, you know, I did smoke weed. I'm gonna tell you like this: there are a lot of movies that probably would elevate your experience with that movie if you involved a little bit of pot or whatever. But at the end of the day, that right there, to me, that just shows that the movie is borderline to not good at all.
Oh man, it's fantastic. Sam, I want you to remind me in approximately 8 minutes and 39 seconds to just yell cocaine for me, and I got a story to tell. Anyway, back to this movie.
Wow.
Back to this movie though. We're gonna go over the. I mean, it's whatever. We can't explain plot because there really was none. But I didn't know the vote for Pedro thing came from this movie, so I mean that's nice. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the all stars of this movie. You got
what is his name?
Heater Napoleon.
Yeah.
He was in Blades of Glory. I looked that up. Tina Majorina. She was that girl from Waterworld that we watched last week. Oh, and she's Deb in this movie had the ponytail to the side, really weird. How do you go to sleep with that? Like, I don't know.
Sleep on the other side.
On the other side all the time.
She was in a movie called Karina. We're not watching that.
Whoopi Goldberg.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's Karina.
All right. Efren Ramirez. He was Pedro. He was in the movie Crank.
Yes. The gay dude that was
Aaron Rule. He was Kip, and he was on the Road with Judas. That's the movie that. Whatever. John Grice was Uncle Rico, and he was in Taken. So that's your choices right there. So you watched Blades of Glory recently, right? So
yeah, I bought that movie. I love that movie.
So Blades of Glory, Crank, and Taken is really all the real options here. So which one would you want us to watch?
Blades of Glory, Crank, and what's the other one?
Taken.
Oh man, that's tough. I mean, comedy wise, I'm gonna have to go Blades of Glory. You know, and Will Ferrell and John Heder or whatever, man, they did an awesome job as a pair. You know, they did that, and then Craig T. Nelson is the coach, and then the black guy, the little trainer or whatever. I forgot his name. It's Romeo something. But I mean, they all kind of like fed off of each other as far as that's concerned. The plot was, I was just talking about the other day in the movie, and I'm like, this is nothing I'm giving away or anything like that. But I remember when Will Ferrell and John Heather, they had announced, hey, we're gonna do the couples ice skating, and this guy was a hot dog vendor, and he was like, look at this is a hot dog, this is how it's supposed to be. And then he took another wiener and he put it in there. He said, this is not natural right here. So I mean, it just some of the comedy that was in there, you know, it was very, very humorous to me. I like that movie. Honestly, I'm not gonna out of those three movies, I'm not gonna pick one. I can't pick one because Crank offered comedy, but at the same time, you know, it was a lot of action. Anything with Jason Statham is gonna be a lot of action. You know what I mean? And little did I know, this is a sidebar, he does all of his own stunts. He does all of his own stunts. So and Taken is on it's on a whole nother level. It's not comedy at all. You know, you don't have a piece of comedy in there. Maybe except when Leslie, what's his name?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah. Maybe when he's like beating the crap out of these guys and they can't seem to get it, you know, they can't seem to do anything about it. That may be funny, but I mean, they're all good in their own right, you know, all of them. But I would pick, if you told me I got one last wish on the face of this earth, well, no, it probably would be in my best interest to watch Taken. That'll probably be, but I would pick Blades of Glory.
Blades of Glory, it is. Has it been 8 minutes 39 seconds yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I bought we had the Witcher 2 as our game of the month picked by Henry about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I don't know. But I bought the game.
2 weeks ago.
I bought the game. It came in early. Shout out to Amazon. Like, it came like in 2 days, even though it's supposed to come like in 2 weeks.
Cool.
So I played that Thursday when I was
What game is it?
Witcher 2. The Witcher 2. I played it for about an hour, and I'm really liking it. The only thing, I just wish The Witcher 1 was on Xbox 360 because there's obviously references to the last game that I'm just not getting. I'm like, man, if I played the first game, I really enjoyed this a lot more.
No, there aren't. I mean, you might have, but it's not connected in such a way that you absolutely have to, so you're not missing out on a whole lot with the first one.
Yeah, well, it seemed like they referenced stuff that I don't know. Like, just on a superficial level,
Well, that's
I'm
just
talking
because
about.
the world is so big. They have a lot of world building in that can get confusing. Even if you picked up one, you'd still be just as confused.
So they talked about the Wild Hunt, so I'm guessing they were hunting Witchers.
That's
the first
the
game.
next game.
Oh, that's the next game.
3 is the Wild Hunt.
Is that a prequel to?
No.
So why would?
No.
What is the Wild Hunt thing? Because I'm not getting it.
It's just like a giant monster hunting thing.
Right.
It's not quite a tournament, but that's the best way I could describe it from what I have read.
The one thing that's disappointing about this game is that it doesn't auto-save. I don't know if that's an option too, but I died when a dragon came around, and I got charged to death, and I'm like, I had to play 15 minutes all over again, and I'm very impatient, so then I put the game down.
Okay, so the Wild Hunt is like an army of ghost hunter things.
Alright, sounds very uninteresting.
Yeah, that's not your thing.
Anyway, it's a decent. We'll talk about it more like on the first week of December. Have you played it yet? Started playing it?
No, I don't have the money for it.
Alright.
But I've tried to sneak it through other people.
Oh,
Got
smuggling
a
video
little bit
games?
there. No, just like friends have Steam and all that.
What games have you been playing this week?
Nothing, because I've been sick.
You just been sitting there staring at the ceilings, like coughing?
I've either been on so many like medications that I can't focus, or I've been asleep. So that's.
I don't understand how people they spend their time sleeping. I cannot. Like, even when I try to go to sleep, I wake up like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Like most days, I just can't. I literally wake up before the sun. That's a pet peeve of mine. If I wake up and the sun's hitting my face, I'm like, this day's a failure. What I'm gonna do now? Because I already lost the first battle of the day.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Do not look down upon that. That's a trait that you have that has been carried over, because I definitely am like that. Let's say I go to bed at 9 o'clock. If my doctor wouldn't have given me the medicine to sleep at night, I suffer from insomnia. All right. Let's say I go to sleep at 9 o'clock, I will be up at 3. And I'm up for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I kind of attributed it to when I had this, after I had the stroke, it was less and less sleeping involved. I was like, man, when I had a stroke, I would get up every morning at 4 o'clock. Yeah, and I then went to bed at 10 o'clock. And why am I up at 3 and 4 o'clock? And then that's when I got put on that little medication to make me sleep longer. But even before I had the stroke, I was still be in that habit from having to wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready to go to school. Since we lived way in Michigan and went to school in the city, it was like, man, you had to get up and beat traffic, and my mom and dad still had to go to work and all that. So it was like that just became kind of like a habit. And what's funny, your auntie Tamika, she doesn't have that. She can literally sleep to 11 o'clock like it's nothing at all. And I'm like, you're missing in that 5-6 hours that I'm awake and you're asleep. Do you know how many things you've missed? That's how I feel. How much stuff you've missed out on being able to do. So you know what? In the end, it's okay. It's okay to get up like that. Just do something productive.
All right. I like in the first hour, I just count the bumps on the wall. Sometimes I can see faces and stuff. It's pretty cool how the brain works, because you're meant to remember to form faces out of things that aren't there. So you just look up and you might see a little ugly little monster thing, like a little goblin. It's cool. Wow. I'm still killing the inside.
Fill in the blank spaces.
Anyway, I think it's been 8 minutes 39 seconds. Hurry! I'm getting impatient.
Cocaine.
All right, cocaine. So I was at the bus stop yesterday, and now it's a regular day in the hood, and got condom wrappers on the ground, got Heineken, half drinking Heinekens everywhere. They got Reese's peanut butter cups half eaten right next to the dumpster. Why can't you just put it in the dumpster?
Oh, wait, why did you? How can you eat half of a peanut butter cup? But that's another conversation. That's just one thing I don't like about living in the East. I haven't lived extensively in other places, but there is so much trash on the ground. Yeah.
You even try most of these dumpsters are completely empty. So y'all not trying. And I don't know if it's still there. When I lived in this apartment the first time, they had the dumpster all the way to the in the corner over there. Wow. All that's in it is condom wrappers. So I don't believe that. I don't know how to interpret that one. Anyways, I was walking to a bus stop, just stepping on stuff, and it's really disgusting. It's a swamp just full of trash. And when we got down to the bus stop, we saw a guy in a red shirt, some gray pants, and he was talking about some hood stuff, whatever the hood kids talk about. This guy's grown man or whatever, right. And he was smoking cigarettes, and he's talking about bumming cigarettes off people. I'm like, okay, I smell like cigarette smoke, so okay, it's a regular cigarette. So I'll take the secondhand cigarette smoke for 5 minutes till the bus comes, and then he starts talking to this lady. Out of nowhere, he just walks up with a little not a Ziploc bag, with saran wrap, little thing of cocaine. I'm like, wait. That's not gold medal flour. That's not. They're not dealing sugar. And I just see you're doing it so casual. There's literally 3 kids about to go to school. You're doing this right in front of me. You don't have the decency to go behind the church over there, which is a funny juxtaposition to be dealing with cocaine right next to the church. But still, you're so bold. I was trying to get a good picture of it so I could put it on my social media. I can get popular.
You got it.
No, I didn't get the shot of cocaine. I got a shot of the guy though. So if the police want to come around and question me, I got him. Anyways, I'm I don't. And he was talking about there's a building, an abandoned building right across the street. He's talking about, man, we should make that into something. And I'm in my head, yeah, we should make that to a bookstore. And then he said, talking to the other lady, yeah, that should be a club or something. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Go figure.
I'm yeah. I mean that wouldn't make money, but mine will make sense. So, yeah.
Right.
But going back to the sleep thing, yesterday I woke up like at 1 o'clock for some reason. Like, man, I'm gonna really regret staying up right now. Like when it's like 10 o'clock, cause that's like I would think I get tired about like around then. I didn't get tired for like another like 20 hours. I'm like I was surprised. Anyways, that's odd.
Your cocaine story reminds me of something that happened Sunday night. So you know Jacob, he's been on the show a couple times.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday.
He and I were at church for youth group. It was just the two of us, and this like 35-year-old man comes walking around. He bangs on the warehouse door, and he's like, "Hey, y'all got beer on tap in here?"
Oh,
and
man.
And it's like, "We're at church, sir?" And he's like,
Wow.
"Yeah, I was here earlier, and someone said y'all had beer on tap." He was not at church that morning. And what kind of church would have beer? Like,
yeah, wine, right? Like grape juice stuff.
it was just like,
Oh, my God.
why, sir?
Right.
I don't know. He probably was drunk, right?
He might have been.
He would have. You know what? I'm going to say he was.
Yeah.
To do that? Oh, man. Wow.
I thought he was about to say you, Jacob, just started just going ham on some lines for Jesus right quick.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't really expect much from people these days. From like the most innocent looking people just do the oddest things.
True.
You just never know. And they say it's the quiet ones. No, it's everyone.
Yeah.
All these kids are having sex with each other. Man, I was in a study hall like a couple weeks ago, and girls just talking about how they putting monostat on themselves. Like, I don't. For one, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You have STDs at this age. Two, you're being public about everyone in this here cafeteria is hearing how you put STD medicine on your. Oh my god.
So like monostat is for yeast infections and stuff like that. What?
Well, I know the fun stuff happened after I leave.
This is not fun. This is actually gross, making my skin crawl.
Right.
I don't know who got what, because now one person got it. It's like the Last of Us infection. Like one person a zombie, we all become zombies. So that's gross. I mean, I know it's there. Like everyone, like they said, the statistics are like 2 in 10 or whatever. Like 1 in 10 people got an STD at your school. It's like there's multiple people walking around with this. Like you're not immune to this. Like there's all types of people that go to your school, like people that being raped or whatever, and it's not vocal about it. I get that, but I don't want to know that. No. Like you out talking to your friend, like I got put STD cream on my vagina, on my little meow.
I gotta put STD cream on my taco.
I mean, like
oh man,
are we kids or are we adults? Like y'all the same? Y'all doing
neither.
Y'all do drugs. Y'all having promiscuous sex. I'm okay with that because y'all adults, right? Y'all can handle the responsibility, but y'all the same people to complain about an essay, like.
But you have to see it. And you know what? Yes, that is 100% accurate. But you have to look at the things that our society deems as hip and successful. So now, how true is this? This is what I want to know. Since you're talking about STDs. All right. Does Lil Wayne actually have HIV?
I think you're asking the wrong people.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong people.
And I'm just saying, what have you heard? Because I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, I don't know, but it's like, let's say he does. I'm not saying that he does, but let's just for a minute. Let's say he does. Then you know what? Though, look at how we promote him as a society. You know. Super successful, come from New Orleans, didn't graduate high school. He has like a 10th grade education.
American dream right there.
I mean, I want a piece of that pie. You know? But I mean, that's what we sit there and glorify. But, you know, little Jermaine that graduated from high school and actually went to college and graduated, and now he works for, you know, a business, or he actually started his own successful business. Nobody will ever hear anything about that young man. But so I mean, that's why people like Mr. Trump can get in there. That's why, because our value system has been breached. You know, it from when you were talking about back when Martin Luther King. You know, there was a different value system than there is now. You know, at least that's what's being promoted to the masses. You know, that our value system should be different,
or at least a different way of articulating what we want. At least,
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, when I was, you know, you guys' age, you know, it wasn't about, you know what? It wasn't about wearing your pants low, trying to be some kind of big rap star or whatever. I mean, even myself, I got a scholarship for football. Went to college. I wasn't worrying about going to the NFL because I knew that the chances were slim to none. You know, and come to find out, once I went to college, you know, they actually had NFL scouts actually looking at me. Even then, even after I knew that, it still wasn't like, because it's almost like no expectations. And over time, I've come to really value not having expectations on anything, anyone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because only thing that people are going to do, only thing we're going to do, and not purposefully, is just let you down on a regular basis. Because that's what we do, you know. And that's why I try not to have any expectations. But I mean, that's where we're at as far as society. So
Warren Buffett, I think Warren Buffett said this: "Their happiness is a function of expectation. You got no expectations, you're always going to be happy."
Bam.
That's what I try to do. I wish I had that mindset like so sooner, because I always try to give myself these high expectations because I feel like I need to have high expectations. Or I mean, like the expectations you have little to no effect of what you're actually going to do.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I was playing JV basketball. I was getting subbed in the game, and the dude said, "All right, we got scouts here." I'm like, "Why are you telling me this? Now I'm already nervous every game. I struggle with anxiety so bad. Now you're gonna tell me that there's a scout here, and this is my first year playing basketball, and I'm like, oh, don't put this pressure on me. I mean, in the first defensive. We were playing a zone, and you know, like anyone knows anything about basketball, zone is a terrible defense. Because the dude could just pass to the corner, he's wide open, and whoever tries to run up and try to block it gonna look silly. And that's what happened to me. I was in the paint, and the dude was wide open on 3-point line. But that's not my assignment. My assignment is to go over there as soon as he gets the ball. But by the time I get over there, it's gonna be too late. So when I got over there, they just shot it right in my face, and of course he made it because I got there too late. Right. Now I look silly, and the scout was sitting right there. I'm like no. And then I mean, I played besides that. I got a couple blocks and a couple rebounds. I mean, that's what I do.
You did get most improved player, right?
I mean, I did.
Right. That's what's up. You know, and that's nice. You know what? That is nice. And you know what? That can make somebody's like career, and not just in whatever sport, but just in life. Period. And that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? To be able to acknowledge a person, and I think that's why I went into the field of psychology and been working with like adolescent since 2001, because there are many kids that feel as though they don't have a voice. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's one thing. That's one thing I try to like let you know. It's like, man, whatever is on your mind, get it off, because it's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't agree with me. It doesn't matter if it's not my Hitler way of thinking, since somebody wants to say that that's my role model. so I mean, no, it's just about being who you are, and it's like, I guess it comes back down to what I was saying before. It's just like, hey, be the best that you can be, and don't really care about what anybody else has to say about it. So I don't know, man. Good job on that. Good job on getting that most improved player, and just as well as I'm telling you, good job on whatever administration to, you know, create that type of thing, because there's a lot of kids in past, present, and past that never got recognized for anything that they ever did that could have made them have more savvy, you know, and not always kind of feel beat down. So that's a good job, man.
Well, thank you. It was that basketball season went terribly. Each time I think about it, like I just want to scratch my own eyeballs out. Like, you know that feeling, like you just resent that the mirror. Like, why does my brain keep bringing this up? It's just terrible. Like, we lost so many games for so many. I mean, not for this one reason. The guy just wouldn't play the best players all the time. He wanted to play every single play.
Yeah.
And like,
didn't y'all make it to the playoffs though?
that was the varsity team. That was the varsity team.
Right.
I almost got to play on varsity because I had like a couple really good games in a row, and then the varsity coach was like, "All right, don't mess up or whatever." I'm like, "Why are you telling me this?" The more like he wins a lot of games, like he wins it's like 30 games, I think. He wins like over 20 like every season because he's a really good coach. Apparently, but I just feel like he just has really good players. Because he's not a very good coach. He be cursing out the players, telling people to shut the hell up, and like just telling people how dumb they are. Like, he's berating these players. Like, come on, we in high school. We're not about to go to college for sure. We're not, and we definitely not going to the NBA.
Right.
So could we just have some fun? Like, we all want to win games. You don't have to worry about that. And you end up going to only play like 7 people anyway. So if they don't know how to play, they're not going to play anyway. So I really don't like him. You should never ever curse out a player or tell him to shut the hell up like that. I'm happy I didn't play this year because I don't want to be part of any of that.
Right.
I shouldn't resent going to practice. I mean, it's a lot better than it used to be because I remember I played park football for a little bit. I don't know for how long. I don't remember now. It's probably because of that concussion I got. I don't know.
Wow.
But I remember playing it, and the practices were horrible. I was scared to go to practice. Like, imagine like being a little kid, never like really seriously playing, like doing anything athletic. You might like toss a ball around sometimes, but you never like really ran before. It's my first time running. Here we are running sprints, all types of defensive slides down the whole field, and the thing about I get working me out or whatever, like they never like worked me up to a point. It was just like, all right, we hitting the ground running, literally going 100 miles per hour in practice for like 2 hours. And I'm in 4th grade. I don't know how to do anything. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I remember the coach. He had like a little plastic bat, like a little t-ball bat. I think it is. Like, it wasn't like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
But he would hit you with it to make you go fast, like I'm a horse or something. Like, what? I'm just like, Mom, can I not do this anymore? I thought football was supposed to be fun, and like we're not having fun. And then they wouldn't let me be the running back, so I definitely didn't want to play then. And then another thing that I didn't like, they made me play with like the 14 and 15 year olds in 4th or 5th grade. I don't know if that adds up to y'all, and it didn't add up to me. So like, Mom was like, all right, we're gonna stop.
But yeah, you know what? At least you had the opportunity to go out when you were in that age. I could never play for any park or anything. When I joined a football team was at St. Augustine High. They got like I'm in the 8th grade. I look around like, all right, I'm on a football team. Yeah, but then, ooh, people got razor bumps. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to go. Man, these ended up being NFL players. Lowest age, 6'8", 350 easily. My dad's beard didn't have that much going on in it. His face, you know what I'm saying? These guys were men, you know what I'm saying? They were grown men. And it was like once I became a senior, I remember I asked one of the underclassmen, I said, man, I'm curious. Do y'all look at us like the way that I looked at them? And this is, and I told him how I looked at them or whatever. And he was like, yeah, man, y'all are like giants or whatever. And I'm like, huh, self-perception is nothing nice, because I did not view myself in that manner. You know what I mean? First of all, I definitely didn't have these razor bumps under the neck or whatever. But I mean, I don't think I looked like them, because I'm telling you, these people were terrifying. Seriously, I had never seen a person like over 250 pounds, and that boy was over 350. You know, I never saw anybody ever taller than me. That boy was 6'8", you know what I'm saying? And then they were more like him. So it was just like, you really were blessed to be in that position, you know. But I came out with guys that's going to actually play they actually end up going to the NFL, you know. So when I got out there, and then it was just like, you have to play, and oh yeah, you got to play, man. So what? I enjoy speech and debate. That would have been my, if it was totally left up to me, no pressures from anywhere, I would have been on speech and debate all 5 years that I was at St. Augustine, because that was just something that I like to do. You know, it was just, and he made me do it. My history teacher, my 8th grade history teacher, he made me do it. He was like, well, he didn't make it, but he really encouraged me. He was like, come on, you'll be good at doing it. Man, next thing I know, I'm going to De La Salle for debates and whatnot. And it just opened up a different side of who I was. And he was, you know, he was right on point. I didn't see it, so how did he? But he saw that something was there. And then they said after that debate season was over, all right, come to practice every day, and then never go back. I never went back, and it's all good.
Well, Sam, I know that you had to be a great athlete in your day, in your prime. You could be you're like got the blonde hair, blue eyes, the perfect white quarterback. So you're like who is it? What can I compare it to? Like the Peyton Manning of park football, I'm guessing.
No.
Right? What sport did you play? Golf?
I played baseball when I was younger.
I played baseball until we played the first game because we only had 5 people on the team, so I don't know how that went out. And that didn't add up. I don't remember much about that either, probably because, I don't know, I repressed those memories. I remember the football too. All I could do was go to practice, those terrible practices, because I exceeded the weight and height limit. So like, and they even went through the habit, the unnecessary habit of weighing me and taking my height before every game. Like, this sucks. And then the game wouldn't end till like 12, like till midnight for some reason. And I'm falling asleep on the bench, like trying to wake up.
Wow. What time were y'all playing games?
This started around 11. I remember like it was
at night.
Yes, on a school day. I remember my mom had to like when it happened. My mom like, what the heck are y'all doing here? And she just took me in the middle of the game, and I don't remember the sequence of events, but there was multiple reasons why I did not play football like anymore for that part. It was just terrible. I think they're ran by Nord, right? I think that it'll be a little more sanctioned than this. It seemed pretty wild. Because why would you have it like a game going past midnight on a school day? Well, I don't know. Anyway.
Well, since there's a mixed bag of listeners, I prefer not to say what I really want to say.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead. We need people to be candid in this country.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I'm 100% for real.
Well, one of the main reasons why I think that happens, and I'm pretty sure New Orleans is the only place in the country that does happen, having games at 11 o'clock at night, is because one, and that was a school night, you said? Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're valuing the athletics or whatever it may be more than the education thing, because for instance, in the state of Florida, they have some very serious Pop Warner athletics going on. I mean, they had Pop Warner Super Bowl and everything, and the dads and fighting in the stands and all that. That's how serious they are. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's just another additive to why things are the way that they are. Look at what we valuing, you know. And they did have some language that I want to put with that as far as here, as far as New Orleans is concerned. There is some language that I want to put with it, but in the end, I'm not, because for the simple fact, people gonna take it. Man, you know what? I don't even much care. What's real is real. You know what? That was some nigga shit to go ahead on and have children out there on a school night. To have them out there on a school night like that, to 11, 12 o'clock at night. I mean, what are you valuing? How do you expect a child to go to school after that? You know what I'm saying? But once again, this is what they're putting value on. What parent is going to allow their child to continue to go back? I can understand getting kind of, all right, that happened one time, all right, that happened second time, all right. But you let them stay for the whole season, getting home at that time of night, man, come on. Nothing is that serious. Nothing is that serious. The latest we ever stayed in college, the latest we ever stayed at practice, like literally on the field practice, was 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock, I'm gonna say. 6 o'clock was the latest that we stayed on that field.
Really?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah, because practice will start at 3:30. You know what I'm saying? When once you get to college, it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, man, why would you keep you in the what age group you were in playing for? That was the 15-year-olds or whatever.
No, with that at that point it was younger than that. It was like 4th, 5th graders.
So we looking at 10, 8 to 10, whatever around that. Why in the? Come on, man. I mean, honestly, and that's some bullshit. So I just don't that pisses me off with the way that I'm gonna separate us from the rest of the country, the rest of the state. Matter of fact, to me here in New Orleans, you know what? Everything is second rate. Nothing is what's right unless you stay up there on in the Garden District. Mm-hmm. That's where shit is better. As far as Orleans Parish, that's where shit is better. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's no lie. All right, my mom stays in Michoud. On our street, you can come from, like, let's say north, and you can come in from south. All right, on both ends of that street, man, it looks like Baghdad, bombed out and depleted. The way the street, the surface of the street, you know what I'm saying? When I come on to the street, like I'm leaning, my car is leaning to the side like that because the street that's from Katrina, and you could tell where like everything came, the streets come up and all that, and it's like, why isn't this fixed? But then you roll up there uptown, everything is perfect. When they made the new streetcar and whatnot. So I mean, it's just about. It's nothing is happening that we aren't allowing to happen. So you know what? As soon as they get off that slave ship mentality stuff, because honestly, that's all that goes on. We're gonna throw these niggas a little something and let them be cool with that. When we stop taking that, that's when stuff will be better. As far as our community, period, point blank. You at a bus stop and the man's, he was using or selling?
He was selling. He was not using.
And she bought it?
Yeah, she bought it. And she didn't buy the whole thing. Like he had like a whole little, how the Jolly Rancher is like in a little plastic. Yeah, it was kind of like tied up like that, like a really big gumball basically. I'm like, that's interesting. I'm sitting right next to the guy. He doesn't care. I'm like, I'm looking him in the face like, I don't know. Maybe he has Asperger's or something. Like he's just not picking up social. Like I shouldn't be doing this right now. You know what?
Good point. Maybe he does have Asperger's. Probably fucking not. Because you know what? There is no expectation. Now we're gonna talk about no expectations. That's definitely no expectations. There are no expectations as far as a citizen of life that you're gonna come out here in broad daylight with children at the bus stop and gonna peddle your drugs. What happened to the days of meeting behind the church? What happened to that? I'm not saying that was right, but at least, hey, you know what? You go ahead and do it on the low or whatever. That's one thing. But now it's just to the point that it's all good. Couple of years, it'll be like this. Kids from school, be at a bus stop. Guess what? Somebody gonna pull out their needle. Oh no, maybe he's taking his insulin. You're lying. You're right here. You're right here in your insulin. You're not putting it in your arm and wrapping it up and all that other stuff. Hey, oh no, That's probably, he's probably smoking his tobacco out of that glass pipe. You're a liar. That boy's smoking rocks. So, I mean, it is, man, that's where we at, man.
I went to the park once, like 2 summers ago with me and my friends, and we were just like shooting around or whatever, and these 3 guys come up, and they were just high as whatever. They kept asking us, like, hey, you know a man named Dominic? He asked us that about 30 times, and like we kept saying no, and I'm like, oh my god. And then we just like, all right, we done. We've been playing for an hour. We're just gonna leave. This is a good time to leave. So we was waiting for our rides under like a little shade thing, like by a bench. And guys came over, and he just had like, hey, you want some of this weed? I'm like, for a second, I'm like, is he really gonna give me that for free? I'm like, no, Mark.
No. And don't take it, please. Don't take it.
And it's like, nah, we good. I'm like, what is, like, I don't know. That was just very odd.
But you know what's really sad though is that in actuality, it's not odd. Yeah, it's odd. It's
for me.
Odd to you. Yeah, it's odd for you. But what in actuality, it's not odd because that happens. You know what I'm saying? I've had, just to let you know, the goal of people is that I've had someone's tried to peddle their drugs by me. I've had someone, male and female, try to peddle themselves.
Oh.
All right. And it wasn't like you sitting up, like I'm sitting in the hood or nothing. I don't have that kind of disposition to be sitting in environments like that. But at the same time, I mean, this is, we got shirts on and we're nice and sitting there, and then makes a pass at me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people, it's just like, I was like, oh no. And then I'm gonna tell you this, one time, this is when I lived in St. Louis. One time, the guy put his hand right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying the gall of people. Like, what will make you think at 6'5", 290 pounds that, you know what, you can put your hand on my crotch and I wouldn't do anything? What makes you think that? But that's just another form of just like people are doing whatever. Things are like that now. Because back in the day, like when I was out in high school, man, come on, I would never put my hands on a female unless it was invited. You know what I mean? I couldn't. I couldn't even if she was cool. Man, I'd be kind of nervous to do that to my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't. That's not how we were raised. You know what I'm saying? I think more of a female didn't do something like that. You know what I mean? And I mean, didn't for the same sex to come up. I'm sorry. I am a very big man. All right, bigger than most, and I'll sit here and whatever. It's no way in the world that I am about to. He was your size. He was your size, man. And he did that, and he was like, "Man, come on, no." And I, and then it was one of those, and then it was with my left hand because at the time I didn't have a stroke, and it was with my left hand. I was like, "Get off me, get off of me." What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You know what I'm saying? Oh no, you're like, man, look, it's time to go, man. Because I was by a friend of mine, a female, my host, and he was a friend of her, and I'm thinking, hey, we all here to have a good time. Well, he wanted to have a good time, but that's the kind of good time I'm not interested in. So I mean, it's just, man, people are out there, man. I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed and desensitized by some of the things that people are willing to do for nothing. Not for no drugs, not for no money, for nothing at all. So, I don't know.
Well, I think we're almost done. But Sam, do you want to talk about anything in particular? Anything on this beautiful earth that you want to talk about?
Yay! No, I haven't really had anything going on or anything cross my mind.
All right. That's sad.
Yeah. So,
wow.
when you're living in isolation 90% of the time.
When are you going to come back? Like, when you get a car, I guess that's the more important thing to ask.
I'll get my license probably after Christmas.
Whenever somebody, like my mom says, sign up for Victor Manning driving school, I know this is completely a tangent, but I think of Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, like they have a brother, so I'm thinking he started a driving school. I'm like, I signed up for this one.
Victor Manning, is he still doing the driving school?
Yeah,
he was
is.
doing that back when I was down. All right.
I need money for that. I don't know how to do.
How much they cost?
It costs like $300, I think. 300, right? I don't know. It costs money I don't have. I know.
And how many times do you have to go?
I don't know.
I think it's just like
And then
16 hours. It's very short for the actual in-class thing.
16 hours?
Not 16 hours.
So wait, and then like they're actually going to help you get it? Like they have studies for you to study with them?
Yeah, like they give you the
test or whatever? They have all that?
Yeah.
study book.
Okay.
I can't wait to spend all that money on something that I'm not gonna. Most people don't even pay attention anyway. I constantly see people running red lights. Like once a week, I almost die trying to cross the streets in this place.
Hey, this is what I love to see, and I'm being totally facetious when I say that. Here we go. We're on the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving.
Mm-hmm.
I look over, and this is what I see: the driver of the next vehicle doing this, texting, and I'm like, man, let me hurry up and get from by this person. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of texting and driving, and I had to check myself on that. You know what I'm saying? Especially I'm doing it with one hand, and I really was, because I could drive with the leg, but it's like, you know what? I'm putting too many people at risk for something. You know what I'm saying, by doing that. But
I see people putting on mascara and on a Mississippi bridge. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like it's just one wrong turn, you flying off into the abyss.
Exactly. Because they're not gonna find you if you fall in the Mississippi River, because the current will take you and you'll end up like in Paraguay.
Yeah. And besides that, we on Thanksgiving break. I'm looking forward to that. Doing a bunch of nothing, sitting at home for 5 days. Probably they do some on Thanksgiving, right?
So y'all don't have to go at all next week?
No.
Okay. That's what's up. Public schools always was so much better at that, because when it was holiday time, I would say, no, we go to school Monday, Tuesday. After a while they gave us Wednesday off, or either have to go half a day Wednesday. But at the same time, we got so many half days and no days for things that public schools didn't get off. So it was like, oh, okay, but I wanted to be off the whole week too. So it's all good.
So I don't know. I don't have a lot of time to do stuff. I'm gonna think. I'm gonna be creative, and hopefully something good will happen. I'll probably burn down the house trying to cook chicken though. So that's going way.
So that's what you cooking for Thanksgiving?
Oh, I mean, that's what I cook on the regular. I mean, that's probably what I'm going to eat for Thanksgiving, yeah.
How much chicken do you eat like that?
Around 20 to 30 ounces a day. I mean, that's pretty much all I eat. I wake up, I eat eggs, I eat chicken for lunch with some spinach, I eat chicken for dinner. Baked chicken, not fried chicken.
Yeah.
So
I would expect things to be different for you health-wise if you were eating fried chicken every day.
Yeah.
What, you eat tuna fish?
I used to, but like I can't stand the taste anymore.
Nah, like they have these matter of fact, I eat these a lot. It's like in a little pouch or whatever, and they sell them for like $1. And there's different flavors. They have plain, they have nothing, just straight tuna fish, and then they have like these different flavors, you know. But I mean, if you tired of the taste of tuna, period, you know.
I used to eat, like, all we used to buy was tuna fish over the summer, like over like a summer ago, and like tuna sandwiches, like tuna by itself, tuna with spinach. I'm like, ugh.
Tuna with spinach?
Yeah.
Wow.
I gotta eat my vegetables. That's the only vegetable I could bear eating.
So it's safe to say that you don't like Brussels sprouts?
I mean, I don't like in that I don't think I ever had them before.
Oh, okay. All right.
So besides that, with all the food talk out the way, we're gonna have a wonderful week. I mean, before we go, I know I do this a lot. We gotta say what we're thankful for. So, John Edward Davis, what are you thankful for this on Thanksgiving?
You know what? Plain and simply, man, I'm thankful for you. To be honest with you, you know, throughout you know, trials and tribulations or whatever, I am thankful. You know, for the relationship that I do have with you. I'm thankful for the relationship I had with your mom, because at one time it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that, you know. And I know Morgan is still a work in progress, but I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of all of y'all. And you know, I'm thankful just to be here, because I could not be here. You know, so.
Sam, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for this podcast and the opportunities it's given us.
Opportunities like what?
I
Scholarships?
got well, maybe. I haven't looked into that. But I got contacted by a YouTuber the other day.
Oh, what?
You wouldn't know. He just, he was like, hey, thanks for liking this video. You want to give us a shout out on your podcast?
Who?
NerdThink.
Well, you should have began a podcast. So can you make another recording and put that audio bit?
I'll do that.
All right. Please remember, I don't want to.
It's just nice to have these connections now, and to have a thing to just sit and talk for an hour.
But hey, a quick question: has the subscribers picked up any?
Nope.
No. Still at 18.
And the views fluctuate. I think that's more about the time that we upload. Because the last one we talked about the election. Like 4 people watched it, but I think that's more about that week more than anything else. It's like flooded with news. Like I noticed on things that on a busy news week, people wouldn't watch us as much, but on stuff that we have days off, because most people that are watching us are like going to school every day. So,
and when everybody's talking about the election, it's kind of you get tired of it.
Oh, shout out to Lindsay though. She said she listened to it, but the only thing it was like Henry's girlfriend.
Oh right, yeah.
So she's the only thing that I was able to get out of her is that I didn't know that she talked this much, and then she had to switch classes. I'm like, you didn't say it was good, you didn't say it was bad, and all you said you didn't say it was interesting. No, I didn't know she talked this much. So I guess that is a good thing. I don't know. I'm succeeding expectations. Anyway, what I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for my father, because he made me. And he gave me all the opportunity to eat all the chicken on planet Earth. Thankful for my mother. She did the same thing. Y'all both gave me money. That's good. I like money. And I'm thankful for Sam, because I couldn't do this podcast without you, literally, because you have a computer. That's the only reason why, Sam. You're not special anyway. Anyways.
That hurts.
No, I'm really thankful for you. And then today is the 6-month half anniversary. I don't know how you say that, but it's been 6 months since we started this podcast, so I'm thankful for that. We're 6 months strong, averaging 3 subscribers a month. What else I'm thankful? I'm thankful for myself though. Above all else, the only reason I'm here is for my own mental fortitude. No thanks to anyone else.
Oh.
Yeah, your sperm just willed itself into existence.
Because they knew. Like, I think I'm a reincarnation of Abraham Lincoln, and all this stuff is destined to happen. So I freed the slaves for my own good, because I knew I was going to be black when I had my second reincarnation. So there you go. That's what I'm thankful for in this Thanksgiving. When I'm choking down that fried turkey. Yeah. I'll be thinking about that. So hopefully you have a beautiful Thanksgiving. You play a bunch of video games. You have a lot of promiscuous sex, and don't forget that monostat. We're out of here.
Right. And from the great words of, I don't know the actor's name or whatever from this movie, but he said, "May God bless America and nobody else."